Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Starlight Beacon, hosted by myself, Coop, and JBM.
Yo,
This
yo,
is a
what's up?
yeah, this is a Star Wars show where we talk everything Star Wars, and our mission is to help guide you through that galaxy far, far away. In this series, we're going to be covering Season 1 of The Mandalorian, and in this episode, we will be going over Chapter 1, The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Let's get it.
Well, first of all, how you doing today, sir? How's it going?
Doing all right. Doing all right. It's been a good day.
Should we
Been a
do
good
it? Should we do a little intro? Like, what's a how long have you been a Star Wars fan?
day. Ugh.
Let's
I've been
talk
a
to the
I've been
people.
a I've been a light Star Wars fan over the years. Uh, I saw the movies, the original trilogy when I was a kid. Thought they were pretty cool. Uh, I remember when the episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out. I remember all the hype around that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw every one of those in the theater. So I've been kind of keeping light track of the franchise.
Word. Yeah, me personally, I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. Like, I saw the originals first, but that was I actually saw the episode 4 on VHS, and it was a VHS before the special editions, and then we got the special edition trilogy on VHS when that came out, like back in the 90s, right before episode 1 came out. And that was the first time I saw all 3 films. Loved it. Fell in love with the franchise. Um, Loved the video games. I played Rogue Squadron. Star Wars Rogue Squadron was my first Star Wars game that I ever played. And
That's
it's
a good
left
one.
a lasting impression on me. It was on Nintendo 64. Played the
Yeah,
heck out of that game.
that was a dope game.
Yeah.
Rogue
Yeah.
Squadron.
I think the extent of my Star Wars fandom comes a lot from the video games, the original trilogy, and the prequels, because I grew up during the age of the prequels, and so I guess you could call me an on and off prequel fan, because when I was growing up and I was watching them and they came out, I loved them. Then in like high school, I was kind of like and then now I'm like, yeah, I love them. They're great. And the Clone
Yeah.
Wars animated TV show helped me, because it kind of sort of from a story standpoint filled in a lot of the gaps and the issues I had from in the plot, like how in episode 2 at the end we see the beginning of the Clone Wars, and then episode 3 starts with the end of it. So we missed an entire war, which I was kind of like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
So I was always kind of like, anyway. But let's see what's going on in the chat. Mr. Loaf, how you doing? Good to
Yo,
see you,
yo.
sir. I will say to everyone, this is going to be a very spoiler heavy show. So if you haven't seen any of these episodes, this is your warning to maybe come back later after you've seen them. But this is your first and final warning, and we're about to get into it. So there goes Heen. What's going on, sir? Good to see you.
What's up? What's up?
So yeah, right off the bat, the introduction into the Mandalorian. First thing I noticed personally, when he's out on the ice, right? Some unknown ice planet. We hear the little tracking device beeping, and he's scanning. Pans to the little bar out in the middle of nowhere. Walks in, and then you've got this alien confrontation, right? These people at the bar, dudes getting roughed up a little bit. All these people speaking these different languages.
Cantina tribute.
Little cantina vibe, and then boom, doors open, and that intro theme plays. First time I heard that, I was like, yo, that's different, but it felt Star Wars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it had like a Western vibe to it.
Yeah, it was real Western. And it was like, it's like that Western whistle in those Clint Eastwood films. Like, but it's like a Star Wars take on it. And I was like, yo, that was clever. I like that. And I was instantly like, all right, cool. I'm with this.
Yeah, I've noticed that first when they showed the Beskar and they had the close-up shot of it. Then that they had that little whistle play. Pretty dope.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so this is they're really going with that space cowboy, space western type of vibe and feel. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this. And then we get to the confrontation at the bar with the blue alien. Well, no, before that, remember we gotta get that bar fight in.
All right, rundown. What happened at the bar fight?
So Mandalorian,
Everybody got shot.
we gotta
Bam.
exactly. Then dude tries to run out the door. Mando hits him with the grappling hook, pulls him down, shoots him in the chest. The bullet or the blaster bolt deflects off, and he fires at the door, cuts the dude in half. It's like, okay, cool. What do you think about that scene?
Yeah, I like the man getting cut in half. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's like, and I thought it was tough. Like I don't know how the sound of the blaster ricocheting off of the Beskar. I don't really know how I feel about it because it really just sounds like a something ricocheting off a tin can. I don't know what it sounds like, but it's kind of like I'm okay with the sound, but it's kind of like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just one of those throwaways.
Right. Then now, so that's cleared up. The blue alien he's free. He thinks he's scot-free. Then the Mandalorian walks up to him. He's trying to negotiate. Hey, here's your payment for saving me. He's like, nah. Drops the puck on the table. His face pops up. Whole time the alien is speaking English. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I'm a little on the fence about how.
I'm all the way off the fence. I do not like that. I felt like they should have had the alien speaking in an alien language.
I agree with that. I think the scene for me would have been better if it were if the alien were speaking in another language.
That changed the whole tone for me. For that moment, I was reminded that this is a Disney story.
Get to the chat real quick. We got some more people commenting. Hey, Ma, how you doing? Good to see you. Love you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching.
Hey.
Kalisto, what's going on, man? Been watching my my Fallen Order streams. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping in, checking this show out. Yeah, but so how do you guys feel about the alien, the blue alien in the beginning speaking English? Because we've given our opinion. Let us know how you feel about it. Like I said, I feel like it would have been better executed if he were speaking some in an alien language. But I was cool with it. It does kind of take me out the scene though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and he talked way too much.
Way too much.
He just made like they were forcing comedy out of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing."
Yeah, it did seem forced, and he wasn't funny. That's the other thing. It wasn't funny. Like it wasn't funny at all.
At all.
Is there an Imperial Basic language? Yes. So I mean, technically, English is the galactic standard. It's called Galactic Basic, I believe. But the written, it's called. I think this is still canon. The written language is called Albaresh. But yeah, Basic is the English language. But I feel like most of the aliens should speak some sort of alien tongue. They can definitely be bilingual, but it just works better for me when the aliens are speaking in another tongue, another accent, another dialect.
Makes the world more believable.
Yeah, it increases the scale of the world.
Yeah, if he was gonna be that, they just should have made him be a regular human.
Yeah, I don't mind reading subtitles. Like I'm good, and it's not that long of a scene. It's like all of 10 minutes maybe,
if that. Yeah,
if that. So yeah, then we get that interesting scene of him going out from the cantina. He captures the dude. We're leaving the cantina. He calls the speeder. He doesn't like the first one because there's a droid in it. He's like, no droids. Hands the man some more money. Calls in a busted down, beat up speeder. They take that one back to the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian ship, and then we get the scene with the Walrus / alligator crocodile looking creature.
Yeah,
that the Mando shocks. Yeah, that's a wild creature design.
That is. Do you know the name of that creature?
I do not know the name of that creature.
Man, I was gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has a name. I don't know what the name is. It was kind of a throwaway scene. I think they put that scene in there to showcase the gun, because like when he goes out on the off of the ramp and shocks it with the tip of his pulse rifle, I think that's what that whole scene was for.
Sure.
That's what I feel.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't
I
know what
think
else we got out of that scene.
well, so he's a bounty hunter. So they want to show how dangerous his jobs are, I guess, and how
That's
things can
true.
pop up at any moment. So
That's true. I can give it that. I can give it that. And then so then the conversation continues. The alien's still talking. Still, and it is at this point it's getting very annoying.
he will not shut up.
Then he goes below deck. The whole time Mandalorian is not saying anything. Not saying anything, not talking to him. Goes down, he starts opening like chest. That was something else that I caught on a rewatch. It's like he opens the thing, right? And there's like the weapons cache with all these weapons, and it's like he's handcuffed in the front, and it's like couldn't he have just taken one of the guns and tried to shoot the Mandalorian? But then
Also, how he opened the cache? It's a weapons cache. It
right, like why is it not locked? But anyway, I maybe they just wanted to show that he was well equipped. He's heavily armed. This dude means business. It kind of looks like that the scene in Men in Black when they when they open up the weapons cache and it's got all those weird weapons in it.
Yeah, it's a good callback.
Yeah, and then we see the he's walking through the ship and we see all the people, all the bounties frozen in carbonite. He walks up to that the carbon freezing chamber that he little does he know is what that is. And Mandalorian pushes him in there and frees him. And it's like, all right, that's the best part of that whole that sequence. It's like finally.
That was the best shot for that character. Frozen in carbon.
Exactly.
That was a tough shot. Like the way they made the carbonite look, it looked so realistic.
It did. And I think I remember people when the trailer dropped, like there was a shot in the trailer where they're showing like all of the people frozen in carbonite, and like people were trying to figure out if each of those characters was someone in canon, and I'm like, yo, they're not gonna do that. Like, there's no way that they're gonna have one of these characters be someone we know or recognize.
That'd be wild if it was though. Like,
yeah, would have been. Money, what's going on?
What up?
Got a question in the chat for you. Got your standing desk going on?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm standing. Working these
sorry to backtrack. Can't tell if Mando could understand what the two thugs were saying to him or if he was being his normal silent self. I think he understood. I think he knew what was being said. What do you think, JVM? Do you think that the Mandalorian knew?
Yeah, so my theory on that is the Mandalorian has a language translator in his helmet. So he knows what's going on. He knows what's up.
I can dig that. Yeah. I can dig that. Yeah, so in EU, I don't know if this is still canon or not, but like I know in the EU the alien language was in the galactic underworld was Huttish. Like the Hutt language was like basically what most of the aliens spoke and most of the criminal underworld spoke. And that's what it sounded like, but I don't know if that's still what it's called. In canon now. I haven't looked it up. I'll have to check and see. But anyway, so now we get to Navarro. And
now what is Navarro?
So Navarro is the part of Navarro that we're in is a volcanic area. From what I understand, the whole planet isn't like that. It's not a volcanic planet. It's not a Mustafar. Deep cut. Well, not deep cut, but that's from Revenge of the Sith, the final fight scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan. But yeah, Navarro, they're in some sort of volcanic region of the planet. I guess I don't know if they're mining. I don't know what it is, but they've built an entire settlement like nestled in some volcanic rock and lava, hardened lava. And then we get to another cantina and this is where we meet Grief Karga.
Is that Carl Weathers?
That's Carl Weathers' character, yes. Played by Carl Weathers, the legend.
Yeah, it was great seeing Carl Weathers pop up on the screen.
It was.
That was a big moment.
It was. And that's actually, and it's one of my favorite moments from the first episode because it does the conversation that he and Carl Weathers have give you a lot of insight into this point in the galaxy. Like, when he hands in the bounty pucks, the chips, right? And then Grief, Carl Weathers' character, pushes the Imperial chips across the table. The Mandalorian's like, hey, basically, what am I going to do with this? Like, Empire's going, they're dead. Like, why? I can't use this. Like, this is dead currency.
Mm.
Then he takes that back, basically. Well, he tries to take the pucks back. Carl is like, come on, stop with the theatrics. Takes the Imperial credits back and gives them Calamari Flynn, which is, I'm assuming that's from Mon Calamari.
What is that? Calamari Flynn?
Yeah, it's a currency. That's it. They introduced it really into the series, but I'm assuming that this is the currency on Mon Cala, which would indicate that the New Republic is using Mon Calamari currency as its standard, maybe, or it's an accepted form of currency in the New Republic. Which is cool. That's a like nice callback to, I guess they're to the Mon Calamari. Since I mean, the Mon Calamari did offer the Republic their largest capital ships and vessels, and so that's the nicest ships in the rebellion in the Republic are the Mon Calamari cruisers. They're the ones that actually can go toe to toe with the Imperial Star Destroyer. So it makes sense from that standpoint. But beyond that, we get to he takes the Mon Calamari, but it's half of what the actual bounty payment was. And to me, it means I took that as like, all right, so he's not really doing this for money. Like, because if he, you're risking your life in this line of work doing bounty hunting, you kind of would think that a bounty hunter was about his coin, but this one doesn't seem to be all that interested. Like he's okay with taking half the credit, half the payment for this job, and then he asked him, for another job, and they're offering up some other bounties, and then he's like, all right, I think, what does he ask him? What's the payout? And he tells him, and then he's like, that's not even enough to cover fuel these days.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says, I think.
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, well, I got this one job off the book, off the records, direct contact.
The baby.
Yeah. Doesn't say underworld, deep pocket. And then we go to the client, and it's this Imperial remnant, which I thought was cool. One thing, a detail I thought was cool was the stormtrooper armor and how worn and beaten down and weathered it was. Like, things have clearly fallen apart with the Empire. It's clearly it's clearly fallen because all of their standards have fallen. Usually we see the stormtroopers in their glistening white,
no
polished
more
armor.
Like, done.
No more dry cleaning. It's over. You can't afford it.
Dusty out here.
You're looking real dusty.
And what's the guy's name? The point of contact that was with the Imperial.
They never give him a name, and he's listed on as just the client. That's his name. They never gave his name.
So I guess is he going to be in episode? Pardon me. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes, you are, sir. We don't know at this point in the series. But one interesting thing. So now we do have that cool standoff scene when Dr. Parshin walks in from the other room. Mandalorian. He's clearly on edge because as an Imperial regiment, he wasn't expecting that. He clearly wasn't anticipating to walk into a room full of Imperials. Dr. Parshin walks in from the other room. He draws his pulse rifle and his blaster, and then the stormtroopers draw weapons, and now you got a standoff, which is a really cool scene. And that's that, like, they hold, which I thought was really cool. Then the client steps up, diffuses the situation. They all sit down, gather, and we're back to business. Oh, but no, before we get to that, the stormtrooper or no, the Mandalorian says something, and he's like, tell them to put their weapons down first, and then one of the stormtroopers is like, we have you 4-1, and the Mandalorian is like, I like those odds. It's like, yeah, like that.
True Western fashion,
wasn't it?
Yeah. But you mentioned something about the doctor. He was wearing an armband piece.
So the most interesting thing about that whole scene, especially for the super sweaty fans like myself, that the Dr. Parsons scene. Now we see this in the trailer, and I remember when the trailer came out, those the internet, as it usually does, got a hold of the trailer. Someone superimposed a patch on Dr. Parsons' shoulder and found out that the patch that he has on his shoulder is actually the same patch that we see the clones wearing on Kamino in episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So speculation went wild, like spread like a wildfire, that one, Dr. Parsing is clearly a scientist from Kamino, and two, that the baby, the child, is possibly a clone. That was a theory going around for a long time, deep on the interwebs of Star Wars.
Clone baby.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Tomato. I am in the unpopular pool of people that I'm not really into the baby.
Oh,
I could do without the baby.
Wow, really?
Yes, indeed.
You don't like the baby? What don't you like about the baby?
Like the baby? I'm just like, the show is called The Mandalorian. I don't want to see this baby. That should be like 1 episode, 2 max. We save a baby, bring it back to the Yoda people. Boom, good. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that is a very, very unpopular opinion, but it's not. You're not alone on that.
Yeah,
you're not alone on that. I like the baby. I like the child. I like. I like the potential of the child.
I like that it's sensitive. It can use the Force.
Well, hold on. Now let's back up. Let's get to that point. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Because we can go to town on that for near the end. What were we talking about? Okay, so yeah, that's an interesting tidbit, and that's a Dave Filoni thing. I know he threw that in there.
The baby, that's a Dave Filoni.
Possibly, but the Kamino thing, having Dr. Parsing have connection to Kamino, that's definitely something he would do.
Yeah, Lord God.
Oh yeah, the Lord God, Dave Filoni. So now he accepts the bounty, and he's fronted a payment of Beskar, which is native to the planet Mandalore. It's a Mandalorian, well, the Mandalorian system, I'll say. It's what the Mandalorians craft their armor from.
And so that's a Mandalorian currency. That's just more of a natural resource.
No. That's the natural resource on the planet. Like that's what they make their armor from, and that's deep cut lore going into the vault here. The Mandalorians began to refine the Beskar after their first encounter with the Jedi back in the Old Republic. Because the first time the Mandalorian Crusaders ran into the Jedi Order, they were defeated handedly. They were not prepared to run into the Jedi Order at that time. And so they went back and they found this ore. They forged their armor from it. They developed all these weapons like the jetpacks, their wrist rockets, all their technology basically was designed to combat Jedi. Because at that point in their history, they hadn't met anyone that could stand against them. And so when they ran into the Jedi the first time, they were defeated badly from the lore. Then the Jedi became sort of like their enemy number one. And that's what led to the eventual Mandalorian Wars. So deep cut right there. Okay. Which is interesting. That's why I was like, yeah, I like it. And I like that the name dropped Beskar because that's what it was called back in the EU. So they didn't change that. It still remains the same. It's still very powerful, resistant to uh,
Can a
lightsabers.
a
It's
light
resistant. It's
not cut
resistant. No. It
resist
can. It's just resistant. It takes a little bit,
a
but you
little
can.
extra?
You can definitely cut through it.
Need some momentum in the swing.
Yeah, it won't be like how the Jedi were just cutting through those droids from the prequels. It takes a little bit more. It take a couple hits.
All right. Yeah, so
Um,
he's the best scar, and he still on Navarro when he has it? Well,
yeah, so all of this still happens on Navarro, and he goes to the Mandalorian Enclave, which is a secret enclave. There's an event that has not been explored in canon yet, so I don't know the details of, but it's the Great Purge, which from the name it sounds like this is the Empire took out a lot of Mandalorians
yeah.
before it fell. So they're they're in hiding now, similar to the Jedi. So they're in the same type of predicament as the Jedi was, and I think I love that aspect of it, the poetry, duality of that.
Hmm.
Longtime enemies, rivals, ancient enemies and rivals now in the same sort of predicament together.
Although they might be better off than the Jedi.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more of them for sure than there are Jedi left. Um, so yeah, and then we get the armorer, which is one of the coolest scenes
Yeah,
in episode one.
yeah, that was one of my favorite. That was cool to watch.
Talk about that a little bit. What did you
Um,
like about that?
I just like the way it was shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
tone was pretty cool. It made you understand how important that material was.
Mhm.
It's a dope
Yeah.
moment.
Those injecting a lot of the cultural elements of Mandalore and exploring some of the legacy and history and the culture, and something that you'll learn as you watch Clone Wars. What season are you in now of the Clone Wars? 4?
Yes, season 4, one of the earlier episodes. I
Okay.
think General Crow just got shot in the back.
Okay. So yeah. So you got that, and then you also in the Rebels you get a lot more exploration of the Mandalorian history, and you learn that um, the armor that the Mandalorians wear is passed down from generation to generation by their clan and their family. So the
Hmm.
armor that they wear is passed down from a parent, grandparent, and is reforged to fit whatever Mandalorian is wearing it at the time. So it's got a long history. It's like some of the armor is like thousands of years old, um,
Man.
which is really cool.
And they mentioned something about giving the excess Beskar to the younglings, or using it for the younglings.
Yeah, and that he was a foundling. So
Yeah, foundling. That's what it was, not
yeah,
youngling.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So not everyone is born a Mandalorian. There are instances where you can become a part of this culture and these people. You can be recruited, which is interesting. I like that. I like that.
Become a naturalized Mandalorian.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we get to so yeah, so he gets refitted. He gets that shoulder piece. They get the history. We start seeing some flashbacks of a battle, and then we see that him as a child, and he's running through the streets. It's like, which I thought was really cool, the way they cut and edited that together, because each like hammer strike, we get a different flashback in a different moment. And I was like, that was cool editing. I like that. And then from there we head to, what planet is that? Um, Arvala 7, which is where the bounty is.
Mhm.
And then we get the blurgs.
Yeah.
And
What's the blurgs?
so those are those mounts, those creatures that he had to tame and learn how to ride.
Oh man.
And he ran into the Ugnaught.
The Ugnaught.
Quill is his name, which is cool. Which, you know, actually he's got one of the most popular one-liners from the show, "I have spoken." That started trending on Twitter like crazy.
Oh yeah, I missed that. I
I
missed
like
that.
that. I have spoken. It's fine. I love that. Like every time when he makes a point and he's done talking, he's just like, "I've spoken." He doesn't say anything else after that. Yeah, people love that. I love it. Just a cool little character quirk.
Yeah, I like this.
I do too. Like I do too. I like that scene with him trying to learn the how to ride the blurg and he's getting frustrated. It reminds me of the Luke scene on Dagobah.
Yeah, the guy mentions that his Mandalorian ancestors used to ride something, right? What was the name of that?
The Mythosaur.
The Mythosaur. What is
Yeah, so the Mythosaur is basically a dragon.
Mixed with a dinosaur?
Yeah, it's a space dragon, and I believe they can fly in outer space too.
Oh.
Like, yeah, they're don't quote me on that because they may change that in canon, but
Mandalorian fly in space with it.
Oh, they can breathe in outer space with those helmets, like those suits.
Oh, they can.
Cool. Yeah. And so, like the Mandalore the Great, the first Mandalore the Great, tamed one of these mythosaur, and that's how he became Mandalore the Great. Like when he tamed the mythosaur and he rode it back to Mandalore, like all the Mandalorian people and tribes basically swore their allegiance to him. And then that's when the Mandalorian Crusades began. So that's a cool thing. And then the skull, like I believe it looks like an elephant almost, the skull, and it has the two tusks coming down. Yeah. Let me see. I might be able to bring that up real quick for the chat. Yeah, but that was a cool addition, cool little add in, throw in.
Yeah, he was that guy. What's the name of his species?
An Ugnaught.
An Ugnaught.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they? Did they like specialize in something?
You know, I don't know, but we see them for the first time on Cloud City they're working in the
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. They're on Cloud City. They're in the garbage chute where you remember when C3PO gets disintegrated?
No.
From Empire?
I forgot. It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Yes. This is the Mythosaur skull.
Okay. Yeah.
And this was the symbol of This is the symbol of Mandalore.
Very powerful on the forehead. Look at that.
Yeah, so that's I'm glad they brought that back into canon.
So yeah, the Ugnaught species considered one of the hardest working species in the galaxy. They're humanoids, porcine sentient humanoids, native to the planet Ginties. Yeah. So they're mule.
Basically, they're kind of like a.
Dang.
Yeah, mules. They're fourth. Yeah.
Y'all see here's a picture of one if y'all can see this. Look at that mule.
Yeah, they look like.
Right. You said being ugly. They are ugly. They look like
get to the chat.
Like a.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're trying to keep this under.
Yo, I'm sorry. I gotta share this. This is a.
Yeah, that's from Empire.
That looked like something from Dune.
Yeah, that's from Empire. Yeah, but anyway, so he learns he's inspired by Quill's pep talk.
Mm-hmm. That's a
And
critical
critical moment.
part in the journey.
Critical character development moment.
So the mentor role to the Mandalorian, very important.
Hardest work. One of that. Yes. Yep. The Empire used them as slaves. They did.
Oh, that's a
Just
good
like the
point.
Wookiees.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Yeah.
But and he did say no. He did say he was a servant to the Empire,
Yeah.
and he bought his way out of servitude. So yes, spot on. Then yeah. So now we come to the encampment.
Yeah, just real quick. Raheem mentioned this is the way. He didn't really favor to that quote.
Oh, what's wrong with that quote?
I gotta say, I felt like it was overused. Also, unpopular pull.
All right. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I tend to think that less is more. So you say it once, maybe twice, and it's
oh,
like,
okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like the quote was too long. I'm like, that's how would you shorten that? But no, just say it less.
Yeah,
less. I can dig that. I liked it though. I like that. The mantra. Understanding this is code. Like this is the way of life. This is how we live. No, that's in the next episode because the next time we see the armorer, no, or is that episode 3? It might be in episode 3, but she has a great quote in there about the Mandalore and walking the Mandalorian way, which I love, which reinforced. I think that's what sold me on that line. This is the way, and we'll talk about that on that episode when we get to that episode. But yeah, so then we get to the Enclave. Quill and the Mandalorian part ways, go their separate ways, and then we get the Mandalorian overlooking the encampment, scoping it out, seeing what the defenses were, how many people were out there.
Bandits.
And I will say, no, I don't think they're bandits. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think that it's clear that someone is paying these people to protect the asset, the child. I'm curious because it's never really answered, like who is funding them, like why are they like who's paying them to protect the child? And they're all Nikto, which is an alien species, which is interesting. So it's someone outside of the Empire knows of the child's existence and is paying to keep him protected, or she or her. And that's not answered in the first season. And I'm curious to see if they do answer that in season 2, because I'm curious about like why was the baby under protection anyway? Like who knew the child's whereabouts and who was paying to keep him moving from planet to planet out of the eye?
Because I just assumed that the baby was being held captive by another group of villains.
Nope. No, so because
it
was under the child was under the Nikto's protection. It wasn't a hostage situation. They were being paid to protect it. Yeah. So they agree with you on the this is the way being overused.
Yes.
It's not unpopular. You think Darth Maul was paying them to keep the child hostage? I think Darth Maul would have killed him. I don't think he would have.
Is he alive? He dead.
No, he would be dead at this point in the story because this is after. Yeah. Maul dies before episode 4, and this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So that's definitely not who it is. It's a trap. That's funny. Wonder if it was Moff Gideon. No, I don't think so. Because then that doesn't, like, if Moff Gideon was the one paying to keep it under protection, he has an entire Imperial regiment under his command. Like, he would have kept the child himself. Like, someone was paying to keep it away from Moff Gideon, and I just wonder who that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone knows about it, and I feel like, and I've been teasing this in previous episodes of the Cookout. If you don't watch the Cookout, we have a live stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. on this channel.
Eastern Time.
Eastern Standard Time. We're the four founders of Gumbo. We come together and we talk about all types of nerdy things. But on that show, I've been kind of teasing that there's a character coming in season 2, and that character is Ahsoka Tano. It's been rumored. She's been cast. Don't know how long how many episodes she's going to be in season 2 for, but she will make an appearance in season 2. I wonder if she's the one that's been paying to keep that child protected, because that would make so much sense to me. And this is a theory I just came up with today rewatching the first episode. So
that'd be interesting. I
would be interested to see, because then that would make a lot of sense. Because one, never mind. That's a Rebel spoiler. I'm not going to talk about it.
Then why would Ahsoka not have the baby in her custody?
There is a reason why she is low key right now, and you have to see Rebels to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into any Rebels spoilers on this show, since this is not what this show is about. But I think it's an interesting theory. Like, I just want to know, like, why and who knows about the child other than the Empire.
Well, let's hope they know, the writers know.
Oh yeah, no. See, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, like, Dave Filoni being involved in this project, like, puts me at ease, because he's been in this for so long. Like, I mean, he's basically George Lucas's apprentice, handpicked by George Lucas right out of college. He's been, well, no, not right out of college, but after he was working for Nickelodeon, working on Avatar, doing animation for them. He's an illustrator, artist, and George found out about him, picked him up, and he came over to Lucasfilm in 2006 or 7, right before the Clone Wars aired. So, you know, he's been with Lucasfilm for that long. So all the knowledge that George Lucas imparted upon him about Star Wars and how this world works and how the Force works and how the Jedi work, he's the one that has all that knowledge. So if there's anybody over there that I trust with this story or with any Star Wars related story, it's definitely him.
All right.
It's definitely him.
He is the chosen one.
He is the chosen one. He's the heir apparent.
Dope. So what's the name of the planet again where they're holding the baby?
Avarla 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Avarla 7.
And then
so now,
up?
we got to talk about the IG-11 unit.
Yeah.
What do you think about IG?
I like the battle capabilities.
Right. I did too. I thought that was clever how they had him animated, because it's a goofy character. Like, it's a goofy droid. Like, it doesn't look mobile, but then the way they have it being able to rotate 360 degrees makes up for its lack of mobility. And then I was like, yes, that makes sense. Like, if it's going to be that goofy looking moving and that impaired mobily, the way they had his arms and his body articulating was like, all right, cool. That makes up for his lack of his mobility. Yeah. And for me, it worked. It's dope.
Did. Yeah, that was a good look.
Yeah. Voiced by Taika Waititi.
And that is?
Director. He directed a couple episodes actually on this, and he's also directed Thor, Love and Thunder.
All right.
Killer Machine. Yeah.
Killer Machine.
Yeah, he was a beast.
With that.
Yeah. So the funny thing about the IG unit, IG first appeared in Empire, and he was on the deck. He was on the bridge of bounty hunters that Darth Vader hired to find Han Solo, and you see him for the first time as Vader is briefing all of them on their target and that he wants them alive, no executions, and he turns to Boba Fett, and Boba Fett nods and nods as you wish, but he's actually on the bridge with the other bounty hunters. But it's IG-88, and it's not this one. So this is IG-11. So there's a series of droids out there, and they're all a part of the Bounty Hunters Guild apparently. And this is the 11th in that series of droids, which is that was cool.
Yeah.
But we never seen them in action. This is the first time we actually seen it in action, other than like comic books. So yeah, all right. So last 15 minutes of the show. Let's open it up to the chat. Let's talk about some stuff. Like let's get freeform, because that was pretty much the episode. Like,
but what happened at the end though when they got to the baby and he realized?
So yeah, we get to the child. Yeah, we got to talk about the end, right? So we get to the child, and they blast open the door. They walk up to the little the crib, the carriage, whatever it is. They open it up, and they're like, and the Mandalorian is like, "Wait, I thought it was 50." And then he was like, "Oh, the some species age differently. Maybe this one ages over decades and not years, or whatever he said."
Yeah.
And then we find out the IG-11 was sent to execute the asset, and Mando had the option to, but his first priority was to bring it back alive. And so now that does introduce a different element. It's like, all right, so now is there another party interested in the child that sent the IG-11 unit to kill it? Or is this a rival, or is this like some rivalry within the Empire, within the Remnant? Is there someone that Moff Gideon is at odds within the Empire that also knows that he's after this child and is trying to stop him from acquiring the child? Like, what's going on with that? Like, why is his directive to kill the child when the Mando's is to bring it back to the client?
And we find that out in episode 2, right?
What part of that?
So I'm thinking Carl Weathers put out a bunch of bounties, same bounties for the baby, and the robot was like, "It's easier for me to kill this baby."
Maybe that's what he deduced. Maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
I've heard that theory too. That it was out. The contract was out for a lot. I mean, and maybe they do confirm that, and I think that would be episode 3 though. That they confirm who they do confirm it, because the client is like, we put the bounty out in general for anyone who could claim it. Like it wasn't exclusive to you, or something to that regard.
And that was the first. What's that?
I wonder just how many paid to either grab or kill the child. At least 2 of I think based off that 3rd or 4th episode, it's definitely a 3rd episode. I think the entire guild on Navarro had that contract.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so, because we'll talk about that, because that's one of my favorite episodes in this entire season is episode 3. And I believe it's titled "The Sin." I believe that's what it's titled. Yeah, I'm bad with titles. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, man. So what? We got 10 minutes now. How's everyone feel about that first episode? Like, what's everyone thoughts, ideas, opinions? And also, if you're watching and you hadn't hit that like button, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because we're going to do this weekly, this show. And we also got a show on Saturdays called The Cookout.
Come
8
chill
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come chill with us, man. We talk about all type of topics and stuff. As a matter of fact, what is the community topic for Saturday? Are we talking about the most evil villain?
Well, the most evil character.
The most evil character of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the community topic for Saturday. Who is the most evil character of all time? And this can be from any genre: comic books, TV shows, movies, video games, anything. Who is the most evil character?
Not to be confused with villainous.
Mm-hmm. Back on topic, Heem says he didn't like the first episode.
He says, "Show me the inciting incident, and from there we good." You don't, yeah. All right. So speaking of inciting incident, the end of episode 1, when he shot the droid to protect the baby, was that the inciting incident? Far as I feel like that was an inciting incident for the character.
I think it was. I agree with that. I
Eternal
think
conflict piece.
yes. I think it is. It is part of the character development. I think it is. I think it's we're seeing that this character's motivations are deeper than money. I don't think he's all that interested in bounty hunting. I think he's just doing it to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying?
He's a
Like,
family, he's
yeah,
surviving.
he's a Mandalorian. They can't be Mandalorians in this time period because they've been purged. You know, but I think that he has he is a foundling, yes, like you were saying. So there's a connection between him and the child, him finding the child in this situation. I think he's got a personal connection. He can relate to it. And we see more of that develop over the course of the series, which I think that is part of the reason why I like the child, because it does help to humanize the Mandalorian, because you kind of start out and he's almost the anti-hero. Almost, he's not really a hero yet. He's the cowboy in this situation. Like he's doing the stuff because it's a job, and he's got to feed himself. He's got to provide for himself.
Baby is his moral compass.
Yeah. So I like that. It's a classic cowboy trope, and it fits for the character. And then the other part of it too is the lore of Mandalorian, the Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian people, which I think we're going to get a lot more of in season 2. True. He can't be a warrior in the normal cultural way. Bounty hunting is now how. Yeah. Agreed.
True indeed. You knew he was going to protect that baby.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. As soon as it's revealed that it's one of Yoda's species, it's like, all right, this is not gonna. They're not gonna kill the child. Like, why? One, we've only seen 3. Two of Yoda species in canon, and then you introduce another one that's young.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're not gonna kill that. Like, there was no real element of suspense there for me. Like, I know they tried to build it up, but it was never there.
Yeah. I think that was just more like for the Mandalorian's character to let you know that.
I agree with that.
To him.
Yeah. I agree with that.
When he saw it, he was like, his first thing was like, I thought it was 50.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing I want to talk about too. Like, so for me, I think if we look at how Yoda aged, because Yoda was 800. No, he was 900 years old when he died.
Boy, Yoda had some dandruff. 900.
Yeah, he was about 900 when he died. So I think that his species ages by the century. So like his 900 is our 90. And so 50 years for his species is like 5 years for us. So like the child is about 5 years old if we are going to compare it apples to oranges in human years. Like, so that also introduces another dynamic for this next season, because like whoever is in charge of this character next, like, if they're going to connect them with this people, like you got to find, like, that's just an interesting thing. Like that's a long time to nurture an adolescent.
Not leaving the Mandalore site. They are attached at the hip.
I think it will, though.
I don't know. In the trailer I heard, I remember hearing the guild saying something about the Mandalorian having to choose between them and the baby.
Yeah. So let's talk about, you want to talk about the trailer a little bit for season 2, since I mean that's hot. We can talk about it.
Yeah, we have a couple minutes left.
So yeah, I mean, so his current mission, as far as season 2 picking up, is going to be to connect the child with its people, whether that be his own species or the Jedi. which is definitely going to be the Jedi. There are a few Jedi around during this time period. Luke Skywalker definitely is one of them, and Ahsoka is alive and well during this time period. But who is he more likely to encounter? I would, I would say Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I would say Ahsoka. The baby doesn't give it a name soon. I'm giving it a black name. Oh my lord.
You got it. What's the name, Amani? Put it in the comment.
Yeah, drop a name in the comment. What should the baby be named? What should the child be named?
This baby 5-year-old.
Is it male or female? I don't think did they reveal the gender. I don't know if they revealed the gender of the child.
Yeah, I don't even know if Yoda's species is like, are they male, female, or asexual? What's up?
Yeah, no, they're male and female. There was a Jedi. There were two of his species on the council during episode 1. It was Yoda, and then it was Yaddle, which is a female species. Same species as Yoda, but I don't know. I think she passed before episode 2.
Named the baby Othello.
Not Othello. Yo, no.
Oh man, Othello.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned the gender at this point. But I just feel like I think it would be so cool. I'd rather them connect it with Ahsoka than Luke, because that could become problematic.
I don't think they'll include Luke.
I don't think so either, because I don't see them recasting Luke.
Yeah, I just don't see them paying George Lucas anything anymore. If they use Luke,
he's a shareholder. What do you mean you don't see him? Yeah, he is. That was part of the deal too. He sold it for like $4 billion, and he also got a lot of shares in Disney.
Don't mind me. I have blind hate for Disney, and I like to.
Yeah, he's very anti-Disney. I don't really care. Just make me good Star Wars movies. I don't care. You can.
Somebody says it's a girl, Cleotis Jackson.
Cleotis.
I was going more Balentia.
Name it Okra.
Okra.
Oh my god. Not Okra. All right, yeah, a couple more minutes. We got what? Okra. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I think we can wrap it.
Yeah, I think we're good, man. That's
a wrap it, man.
Full recap of episode 1.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We will be back next week, next Wednesday, same time for episode 2. Looking forward to that. Now we're gonna call it Draymond. Oh my lord. Yeah, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you have not already, man. We appreciate you all for coming out. It's been fun. Hope you like this recap. If there are more series or anything, because we've been thinking about doing like a Clone Wars and also Rebels, and then we're definitely going to do season 2 of The Mandalorian when that comes out on October 30th. Well, that's definitely on the table. That's not even a consideration. Like we're definitely going to do season 2 of The Mandalorian episode by episode. Well, it might be a thing where we come on right after the episode airs, or we might keep it on Wednesdays. We'll see. The 30th is a Friday, so it's going to have a Friday release, which might not be a bad thing. But yeah, so yeah, Saturday show, we got another live stream, Community, the Cookout. That's coming 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Make sure you tune in for that. And then if you watch Lovecraft Country, we also have a show that we do every Sunday night called Aftercraft, where it's me and Amani. We talk about that current episode of Lovecraft Country. And that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We kind of get started at like 10 Eastern. So definitely make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, so that's it. We're going to wrap it here. Thank you all for coming out. JBM, you got any closing remarks?
Peace, y'all. Be well. Just be more. Let's do it.
Yeah. Peace,
Yep.
love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.